How's it going, guys? This is JD Smith, the bold black billionaire, your eccentric economist, private equity guy, econ nerd, all the above. And I am coming on here now just to answer a few questions that I was actually emailed. Um, like every week, I encourage people to email me, DM me questions, mainly pertaining to entrepreneurship, to economics, geopolitics, monetary policy, and like that stuff. I've been studying and researching economics for about 15 years now, and it has helped me just change my life and just transform. I did great in '08 and 2012 when a lot of individuals were losing, pretty much. Because there are certain economic principles that will let you know what is always happening in the actual marketplace. So I encourage you to, ask me questions. So I am here at your disposal to answer any questions. Okay, let's see what we have here. All right, question one. What is causing inflation? Good question. It's not always a cut and dry answer depending on monetary policy, but my best case answer is the Federal Reserve Bank, i.e., our central bank, from 2020 to about 2021 second quarter, they created $9 trillion and handed it out to various institutions and business owners and even individuals through different financial vehicles. So the first part is the massive printing of currency or US dollars. Second part is velocity. Velocity is the rate in which currency flows through the whole economy. So in layman's terms, you have a ton of money chasing few goods, and that causes the value of the actual currency to go down, so prices shoot up even though your currency is less valuable. All right, second question. What is the Fed doing to bring down inflation? Well, Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve Board, that's the governing group that decides monetary policy. So any kind of rules and guidelines and laws that banks, insurance companies, and non-financial institutions follows, they are trying to do what they call a soft landing. A soft landing is when the Federal Reserve increase interest rates. They have to increase interest rates to get you to stop spending cash at a fast rate, right? So they have to kill demand to slow down prices rising. This whole idea came from the era of like 1981, 1982, when our Fed chairman, his name was Paul Volcker. In about 1980, 79, 80, and 81, inflation was like going crazy. So Paul Volcker thought, all right, so I will increase interest rates to increase borrowing rates of everything. And when you increase lending rates for home loans, auto loans, and just various other things, it becomes harder for people to get credit easy. And so because of that, that puts a ton of pressure on companies to drop down prices. So people can get a deal on furniture, houses, cars, stores, and even groceries, that type of stuff. But Here's the problem. If the Federal Reserve hikes rates too high, too fast, that can cause prices to fall down, which will cause employers to fire people because they can't have prices being too cheap. If you have a massive amount of firing, then you will cause a recession. So they have a very difficult task on their hands. Honestly, my own opinion, they're going to fail. Like, it's not going to go right because of so many different types of economic factors that is going on at the same time that has never happened before at the same time. All right, next question. Why does the government not agree that we are in a recession? Smart question. So here's what's going on, right? Out of the $9 trillion that the Federal Reserve printed up, approximately $2 trillion went to just like the average citizen, right? Of like damn near all tax brackets. So that $2 trillion handed out from 2020 to 2021, a large portion of it went to personal savings. So the Federal Reserve thinks that people can handle higher prices because they want you to spend your personal savings on these higher prices and also spend as things come down. That's what they actually mean when they say the consumer is resilient. If you ask me, it's kind of BS, right? Because just because a person has savings in their account doesn't mean they can actually spend that. You know, that can be for like emergency savings and like just like various things, right? So yeah, and it's kind of funny. I'm at my older sister's house and she's in there now just complaining about the price of groceries because yeah, like everything's high, you know, because you have shortages. So stores need to stay alive, so they hike their prices up. So that's a key example of like what is going on. All right, next question. Why are stock prices falling? That's because the Federal Reserve is increasing interest rates that increases borrowing rates. So as consumers run out of money, companies can't service their actual debt. Sorry about that. I had to move to the front patio. Family's getting loud in there. We have a little function going on. So here's a dirty little secret. Society is ran off of credit, not cash. People think that when you spend your personal money or your disposable income on a product or service, that profit helps the business stay afloat. It actually doesn't. What helps businesses stay afloat is debt. So businesses issue a crap load of debt instruments, and private investors such as myself, we buy their debt instruments. So we actually buy them, endowments buy them, and even banks. You know, banks lend to each other 24 hours a day. Like it literally is like nonstop, right? So when you run out of cash to actually spend on products and services, companies too as well can't service their actual debt. So if they can't service that actual debt, then they have to start laying off people. You know, they have to start slashing prices to entice you to spend your money with them. Well, all right, guys, that was a quick explanation of some of the things going on with inflation. We don't know where things are going to actually end up, but I do have a lot of strong ideas. So subscribe below to the Off Grid Income newsletter. I share all my thoughts every week in this email blast on inflation, investments, financing, and that kind of stuff. So if you are interested in understanding what's going on throughout the world that affects your money, subscribe now. All right, guys, have a good one.